Alright, welcome back everybody to another episode of City Skylines. If something looks a little different in the long distance over there, wherever, I'll go and show you guys that here in a second. I just kind of want to show you this view. This is kind of where I ended up on just a minute ago after tidying up a few little things with the city. I went and did the other half of the bridge off camera here, and I think it turned out pretty good. It didn't turn out perfect. Like, I wish I put the bridge arches over top. I think that would have been a nice little touch, but I kind of forgot to turn that on, and by the time I was halfway through with this one, I realized that, and yeah, so it's probably going to stick like this for a while. I may go back and redo it at some point, but by doing that, I have to redo everything, and then I got to make sure the pillars and everything. I got to do all this all over again, which it wasn't difficult, but it wasn't easy either, so I went and created some off-ramps right here at the end, and they actually connect into a two-lane road that takes you along the bridge as well, so we'll be able to build a few things. I'm not sure if we're going to build houses and stuff over here, if we're going to do some commercial or something. I'm not sure yet. We may do like a little tourist area. We may actually get rid of this area over here and kind of push it more over here, because this actually seems a little bit more like an area that it would benefit. So this might all change. I mean, it's unlike a real city, you can experiment a little bit, so I guess that's always good. But yeah, so with the experimenting, of course it's going to cost some money, but it's definitely a lot better than a real world experimenting with a real world city, so that's always good. So what I have planned here, oh yeah, I wanted to finish showing you this. So this turned out pretty well. I tried to fix a couple parts and I messed up a couple parts by trying to do that, but I'm really happy with how this turned out for the most part. So the slope going up to the bridge is almost how I imagined it, and this cliff is actually pretty high off the ground. Like, starting back here, there's a little bit of a hill, so we get up to the height pretty quick. So that's actually a pretty good spot of doing it, and it was actually even better over here, because as we come over here, it's pretty much, we only had to drop down maybe a couple feet. I mean, really, it wasn't that much we had to drop down over here, so it was pretty cool. I already made this bridge 3 lanes because if we upgrade, the pillars gone and everything's just gone. So, I figure, this should last us for a long time, hopefully. I mean, if we ever have to go more than that, we will, but hopefully it'll last us a while. Like I said, it'll erase all the pillars, and we still won't be able to get the bridge arches, so that's unfortunate. But I kind of laid out a few roads. I also changed, off camera, I changed this. I moved this side of the highway closer to this side, and that was because this one here, I didn't really like how this on-ramp looked, and that looks pretty good. Of course, it does dip this down a little bit, so I think I'm going to go back and try and fix that up. But other than that, I moved it all the way down this side, all the way up to here, so it looks like, and it looks like it kind of curves off this way, but I don't think it does, because I went straight off, and then I did a curve into this area here, so I'm pretty sure that's what it does. I don't think I did that, but I may have, so. And then I don't think I showed you this. I went and did these on and off ramps as well over here. And then we got some space here. So what I'm thinking is that when we start developing this area out, we'll kind of test the waters. I think we're going to kind of start at the far end over here. And the reason I'm going to do that is so if I need to change some of the roads, basically, if I need to create a little bit of a makeshift interchange, I can do it right here. And because there's plenty of space. And then I kind of see, maybe some commercial or just a little bit of a housing development over here. I'm not, 100% on what we should do there yet. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Yeah, I just made that joke. So what I'm thinking is that we're going to build a small little town over here pretty soon. And I think running through the middle of it is going to be a divided highway. So this is going to be a freeway all the way up. We're going to have probably an overpass over here, and then we may have one more. But that's pretty much going to be it, and then I think it'll turn into just a regular highway. And then later on, if things get to the point where we need to, where we have too much traffic coming through, we have traffic backing up and stuff, then we might create a full-fledged interchange over here. But I think for now, we're just going to kind of let it be for now. The only thing I didn't run yet was the rail, but that's just because I don't know where I'm putting the cargo station right now, and I just don't know where things are necessarily going. So I just want to be a little cautious on that. What I think I'm going to do, though, is I think we will place the cargo station down. Should we do it right now? Wow, that's pretty high off the cliff there. Is there a better place? We can put it maybe somewhere over here. I don't know if it'll work over there. And we can always put it on, wow, that's still pretty good little cliff. I think it does work over here, though. I just don't know how. We might have to just smooth out the edges a little bit and kind of slant it down a little bit more, because I think if we go into, where is it at? It's probably under the boat, right? Yeah. Go into this one? Yeah, it's this one. It does, okay, so it does sit down lower, so that's going to make it pretty difficult to get a road. Yeah, because it doesn't like being up high like that, but down over here it works. So, as I would kind of prefer to probably put it around in here. That all connects. We could also put it over here. But that was kind of defeat what I just did. We could put like a passenger terminal or something over here. All the decorations and everything. Just trying to see what I got here. We kind of maybe try to do something a little different, but so we can do a little bit of a harbor or a passenger station over here. Can we put it all the way down over here? Okay. So I was thinking, well, not really there. Maybe kind of in here. There's some open space. Quick access to the highway. That may work. We may put it over here. How far down can this go? Not very far, right? Yeah, because it's the pathing is going to end up getting in the way with us. So, okay. So we'll probably put one of those in here soon. So let's just see here if we can get ourselves in trouble with doing some terraforming here. Let's see here. I don't really use this tool very often, so it's right click. Okay. So kind of shape the land a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. I just need to kind of create a nice, I want to create a nice gentle slope and then be able to kind of take this tool and round it off a little bit, which it's not taking too well to it. So we do a little bit larger. It's doing a little bit better, I suppose. Kind of come in from the bottom there. Kind of round off the cliff a little bit too, around here. That's actually looking better. It's just going to be a little interesting trying to get trucks down here. It'd be nice to have a little bit of a flatter area, but, you know, oh well. Let's see here. So I'm guessing that's costing us quite a bit of money to do that, but oh well. So we can kind of do something like that. That kind of brought the bottom of the water up as well. Yeah, that's still pretty, if we can kind of get it to just smoothly go across here, that would be really helpful. Let's go in the right way, right? Okay. So we can kind of just lower this out. Yeah, that's looking better. Then we can kind of smooth it with the other tool, and then maybe, yeah, it's using a lot of money. Maybe we can kind of smooth this out a little bit. It's looking better, but that's going to be, I guess we can kind of come to the side. I have a feeling that, even though we have 2 cargo terminals, I have a feeling that there's going to be some trucks coming through here in this port. And I never really looked at how an interchange on a port looks, but I kind of feel like we could, you know, have a little fun with this area. Might do a little city over here as well, like a little suburb. Then maybe do some industry down over on this side. I'm not sure yet, because we want the port, so I mean, we could have some houses next to the port, but it just doesn't seem like something we necessarily, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right to me for some reason. Yeah, so let's get the port. We're gonna do that. We can always close it, you know, until we're ready, but I kind of want to get things started here. So maybe kind of tilted like that. And maybe actually what we can do is take our terraforming tool. I didn't even think about this. Yeah, and kind of smooth that cliff off there. I didn't really like the way that looked anyways. So that helped out a bunch. And then it kind of should level out the area a little bit. So what I'm trying to think here is, unfortunately these are going to be a 2-lane road, but we can put 1-lane roads, or one-way roads into them. Now we can either kind of force traffic in one way and then back out the other, or we can kind of create a little bit of an interchange. But by doing that, I also want to make sure I can include another interchange here for if I build a city over here. And actually we have the time going there. I want to build something out over here. I'd like to get more than one if I can, but I just don't know how this area is gonna like that. I could do something like an overpass here, but kind of ramp it off the cliff here. I don't know. Or we could kind of have a road kind of ground level, of course. 0, kind of come along here, and then eventually just curve back in here. Actually, that may be our best bet. It's going to be a little interesting creating. We might do a little bit of a little bit of a different interchange there, but that may be what we have to do. And then maybe what we do is create an underpass for this one, so that way these can stay the same, and then we can kind of create, yeah, that could work. So that way we're not building up and over anything. Oh man, every time I want to build somewhere it does that to me. And then we kind of build a road, and it comes through the middle of what would it be, town, I guess. Like so, kind of on the, yeah, we got a little bit of a hillside there. We can kind of put some nice homes, and then this guy can maybe come around this hillside a little bit, and then maybe it can connect into a road that would be over here or something. Kind of feel like that should curve a lot more than that, though. Let's see what we can get away with. I'm not really gonna be building anything over here right now, but we're just kind of shaping the area, trying to get an idea of what it should look like. And that looks pretty good. I think that looks better. I don't really want to build any roads between that, because then they're going to be jumping between them, and that's going to kind of make this pointless, but oh well. So if we bring that under, and then we can kind of build a little bit. We could either... Yeah, I think we'd probably end that road there. But if we want to build anything, so we could build a full-fledged interchange here, but just not have it connect in with this port in any way, basically. And we have this guy come down and around. If we do something like that, how's the slope? The slope is fairly good, actually. So we can kind of do a makeshift interchange there. Oops. And let's see how the slope would be if we did something like that. That's pretty good too. Alright. Kind of need to swing it more this way though, so we may have to do something a little odd, but I kind of want to make it look a little realistic, because we're going to have big, trucks coming down here, so we don't want huge, we don't want sharp corners. And we don't want, anything like that. We want nice, easy slopes, as best as we can. We want nice, smooth, very easy to navigate corners. Yeah, so I think something like that might work. So what I was thinking is that either we just have a curve in there and then curve out there, but if we do this with an underpass, we can do interesting interchange here. So we can have over there, and then we can have over here and over here. And then we're gonna have to have on and off ramps for here as well, but we can make that work. Most of the vehicles that'll be coming off of here are not gonna need to go off here, so we're not gonna need to worry about that. So should we start digging under this and just kind of get this underway here? Just kind of get this road. I mean, we could leave this for now and then build the interchange, but the thing is I think the way this is gonna come down and over, it's gonna come down right onto this bridge here. It's gonna be like the best spot. And then this guy, I'm not sure. I don't want these too close together and causing a traffic jam. Let's see here. That guy's that up there, so we might kind of leave this at an angle coming up. Maybe kind of more at an angle. And then I'll give us a little bit more room. Like, we can have a short little off-ramp there. Something like, well, that might be for that one over there, and then this one. So let's just build this guy like that. And then we have this one that kind of comes over here like that. So then there'll be some room there. But then this guy will have to come up and over here. So let's just see what that would look like. Ooh, that's really, really steep. Alright. We can get away with it if we do this. We kind of give ourselves a little bit more run up. Something like that. That's still really steep. Jeez. Alright, so we're gonna need some more space than that. We have space, so why are we not using it? It's fighting against itself because it's trying to come up to 12 here, but it's also down below there, so it's all together just fighting everything here. Does that look any better? That looks a lot better. That kind of looks a little rough now. Yeah, so if we kind of bring this up to about this point here, I think we'll be fine. Yeah, this game does not do good sometimes with hill on a hill type thing. You're trying to put an incline on an incline, it freaks the game out sometimes. That was 12, okay, so we can kind of come like that. Yeah, I wish it would work with me a little bit better here. We could probably, I was thinking we could sink this road down a little bit. Maybe down 3 here, and then we only have to come up 9 up and over. That might work. So let's see here. So if we do that, how's that gonna look? So we come up to 9, it's still really rough, man. So if we only come up to 6, that may work out better. So we come that down to, yeah, that looks a lot better. So we may have to drop this down to 6 as well, but that'll bring us down to 12, which will work out really well. Alright, so start there, and then maybe end it over here. See what we can get away with here. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge to line everything up, I feel. No, actually, that's pretty simple. Alright. That's actually already at 3, so that gives us a pretty good idea that we can expand this out if we need to. So maybe we do a similar thing over here. So to there. Are those pretty much straight? Or are they a little off? They're a little off, but it works out in my favor, I feel. Alright, and then that one actually probably needs to be a little bit more that way, but we'll see. We can probably make this work. So we'll go to this mode, and we can need to pull this. And that looks alright. And then we can come down to 0. And then we could almost come down to the middle there. See, this is my concern, is that we're going to need an off-ramp here. So we could almost use that extra time for run-up as well. Because we're going to have an off-ramp here. Let's go back to normal. But that could be going underground, so that could work for us as well. We kind of keep it at 6. And we drop this down to 6. And we have that going under. In fact, we could, yeah, actually, this is going to make it a lot easier. So let's do this now. Because I didn't realize how easy this is going to be. But what my plan is we'll do the same thing we just did there. We'll drop this down to 6 and drop that down to 6. And it should make our lives a lot simpler. Okay, but that's not what I meant. Alright, so we'll drop this down to 6. Bring it about there, and then we'll just end it there for now, for the time being. Go and knock these guys back a couple, and then I'll come back up here in just a second. We want to make sure that we clear this enough. So we still want to be down 6, because this goes to, let's say, go down 6 to about there, and then come back up to ground level there. and then we can take these guys. And actually, what we want to do here is just to make sure that we leave ourselves enough space is take this here. Alright. And let's go ahead and grab this tool and do that, and then grab this over here and do the same thing. If we can get the tool. Alright. And then that'll help. And then what we can do is grab this. Oops. Did not want to do that. Grab this. And bring it up to 6. And then again go to bridge construction. Come across. And then come back down. And that should hopefully line up decently. And we might have to, we'll go and change this up a little bit because the curve's right over there, so it may work out in our benefit here. So if we bring that to normal, and we just kind of bring it straight through and then start curving it back over here, that'll work. Alright, so that should give enough room there. And I kind of want to redo that a little bit. That kind of, well, that doesn't look, it doesn't look great, but it looks alright. And then we'll do this over here. I have to say I do love these mods. This one we're gonna have to, oops. Yeah, this one, let's go and come straight across at the beginning. It's kind of catching on that grid there, so I don't really want to turn off snapping if we can help it, so that looks alright. And then for this side, so if we do that, and we do normal, right? Normal, okay. And then we do that, and then we can kind of line this one up over here. Which actually I think is going to make this area look a little bit better. If we do something like this, that, maybe not so much, but we'll fix that. We'll fix that. Oh, I did not want to do that. I hate when the game does that sometimes. Alright, that'll do. And then just come up and curve slightly. That was still overdone a little bit. That's a little high up. What the heck is going on here? Oh gosh, I did it again. Alright. Try and come straight. Kind of line up there. Should we actually click the tool this time? And we'll do that. It wasn't. Oof, that was still a little overdone. Maybe we can come the other direction. Okay, click the tool. Thank you. If we do that, now if we do this, get it straight, and then do that, that looks good. That looks a lot better. It'll look a lot better once we get the area all sorted out. But right now, everything's all kind of a mishmash, you know, of roads and whatnot. Kind of S-curves there a little bit, doesn't it? Both directions. I don't know. I don't really like how that looks on that side, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and leave it for now. If it bugs me enough, I'll probably go back and fix it offline. Or off camera. But right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of let it be as it is. Alright. And that slope. So I know that I can do that, and then come up, then do that. So that'll work. And then I do that. And that'll look good. And then come down to 6, and then come back up over here. Wow, that did not listen to me at all. Let's try that again. There we go. So down to 6. Alright, that's better. and then you can come back up. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Alright, we can do that. Okay, so I want to kind of see if we can work this a little bit better. Let's see here. Ooh, yeah, I forgot about that. Cannot use the upgrade tool on things that you used another tool on, like being able to change it to a bridge or whatnot, because stuff like that will happen. Alright. So does that still leave enough room? I'm gonna say it does. I'm gonna say it does. So then we'll bring that to... I think we'll leave it a bridge. I think we'll just leave it a bridge for now. Be a little low-lying bridge, but I think it'll be alright. Because we could have it come down to here. But that's not allowing much room there. So let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Let's see if we can kind of do something like this. Kind of come past this and then swing back into here. Something like that. I think that'll work. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then we can have it do something like... Ooh, that one can be the normal though. Let's go and redo that. Oops. Alright, let's go and go back to this. Oops. Let's do something like that. Not too much, but enough. And then we'll do that. And then make it look decent, but I don't want to get too far yet because we have that right there. We have space to create a nice broad curve, but I want to be mindful of what we have going on over there as well. So it's going to do something like that. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Alright, so we're going to go and do that. So that'll take care of that side. So we don't need another ramp coming in either direction because this is going one way. So this will make it a little bit easier. And then the way I see it is we'll have something that comes off of here. In fact, this may be the only ramp that we have coming off of here. Yeah, in fact, I think we're going to do something not that terrible, but we'll do something like that. To get down over here. So maybe come like that. That looks pretty good, so we'll kind of match up to that now. Grab the right tool. And then that'll come down to here. And then what we can actually do is we can turn these around, but we can also, I think, be fine with doing a single lane down through here. Like, there's going to be a lot of traffic, but we're going to be so free-flowing that it should be, in theory, it should be okay. In theory, you know. In the real world, may not so much be, but we'll figure that out when we get there. I think we're going to keep that 2-lane under there just so I don't mess with anything. But I think everything else should be alright. So that's kind of a little bit low. So I may have to come back and fix that up. So we may just push this road back a little bit. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this real quick. Because this was the whole point of doing this. And so we'll come down to, let's say 6. We'll keep 6 until about there, and then we'll keep. We can do something like that there, and then that should make that a lot better. Why is there like a dip right there? This game sometimes it's fun and it's so customizable, but it can be kind of frustrating at the same time. So we can't go too far, or else we'll do something weird. That looks better. It doesn't look great, but it looks better. Alright. So if we can kind of do something like that, and then kind of do something like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That's getting a little bit crazier, so we can maybe do something like that, but with, oh man, Alright, so do something like that, but then come to something like that, maybe. Oof. It did not like that. Alright, so let's stick with my other idea here. So let's go down to is that at 2 meters? Okay. So then do something like that, and then go to normal, and then connect in. It still didn't like that, but I think we can fix that by simply doing. Ugh, it still didn't like that. You know, I'm gonna leave that for now, because if we ever have to upgrade this road, it'll probably fix that too. And so this is all for an area that doesn't even exist yet, but that's what, might as well do this now, since we've already done the bridge. Might as well get this stuff out of the way. And then, I don't know how I feel about that off-ramp. We can probably make that a little bit better. Kind of, not really liking it. So, we can kind of create something that kind of comes off like that, and then immediately starts to curve. That looks a little bit better. And then that lines up nicely. That still doesn't look perfect, but I think that works out a lot better. Alright, and we have those there, and we have that road there. So that's pretty cool. And we could have I might still do this here, because I'm not sure how I like about this, but we could probably do a loop back here because we have enough space. So we may do that later on. We may do that in the next episode. So I mean, this won't be all for nothing. That kind of help that slope a little bit too. So I think it'll actually look better. I was kind of looking back, because I was thinking of doing that in the beginning, but then I figured this would probably look better. But now I'm looking at it, and I'm not really having it. So I think we'll do a loop, because that'll give us the most amount of space with the look a lot better. I just don't like how that looks there. So definitely, guys, let me know what you think of this so far down in the comments below. There was a lot of work that went on this one, but we should be doing some more cleanup, and then maybe do some industry out here. We'll get this port probably going, get rail connected up to it, and power and all that kinds of stuff. So we'll probably do that in the next couple episodes. As always, guys, if you like this series, go with the like button, a favorite, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff. Definitely stay tuned for future episodes.